In the height of 22, when there was quite a lot of field fires going around in the area due to a very, very dry summer, the land surrounding Stacey, there was quite a large fire started by a combine, and it tracked around you with the wind, jumping across fields and pretty much surrounded the farmyard.
I was in the yard. Matt got the phone call about the fire, and at that point all we could see was smoke. So we started running up here and then realised the sheer scale of it. Bearing in mind it was one large field away, and at this point all you could see was plumes of smoke and fire racing down towards the woodland. And that was the point we thought, this is getting quite serious. I wasn't sure if the wood went up, because the wood was so tinder dry, what would happen next. And the other side of the wood was animals in the field and our home. So I then started making phone calls to friends who were familiar with livestock handling. I actually then went home and got my car and the dog.
When we were tackling the fire, there was a huge problem in this particular area, as it is in many rural areas, of actually finding fire hydrants. So this particular farm, the closest fire hydrant is 2.5 miles away, which caused a massive delay in getting water to the scene.
We then made contact with Cambridgeshire Countryside Watch, and I put a plea out for anyone's help in the local area with a 3-word location, and it was quite an overwhelming experience really, because everybody turned up that was available to help with either a water bowser or a fire beater and additional cultivators. And then other people turned up who I don't know who they were or where they were from, so it was a community effort and the fire service that helped that day. When the fire service did arrive, it did mean they had to travel 2 miles each way to the village to get water for the nearest hydrant, but on farm we did have rainwater harvesting tanks that were full.
At the time, Stacey was saying that we had 15,000 litres of water sat in the yard, but we couldn't tap into it because we didn't A, know about it, or B, have the knowledge of how to.
I said to Chelsea, it's a shame the fire service couldn't connect to rainwater harvesting tanks. You know, is this something we could look at creating a project to trial if it would work? And Chelsea then said, well, it sounds like a good idea, and we'll look into how we can make this happen.
So we have a cam lock adapter which we carry on all our frontline appliances, and that's an adapter to change the size of the actual connections so that it can compete with the back of our fire engine. So we can use the sprayer hoses which the farmers use to top up their sprayer tanks, clip our cam lock adapter into them and then connect them to the back of the fire engine.
So the rainwater harvesting tanks on farm, we've got about 20,000 litres in one and 12,000 litres in another. That's a phenomenal amount of water compared to what a fire engine can hold.
A lot of farms are in rural areas with big spaces between hydrants, so knowing that we've got another water source is really reassuring, and it means we can tackle the fires faster. You could, if the farm was bigger, have 5 15,000 litre tanks sat side by side in series, and we can tap into all of them.
One of the biggest benefits to rainwater harvesting is it promotes self-sufficiency. We often get a disrupted water supply here where we've got low pressure, so if anything does happen or the supply is cut off for short periods, we know here that we're not going to stop the show running. For ourselves, we've been separating clean and dirty water for many years now. All of our surface water goes into a sediment trap and drainage system. All of our clean water is collected through rainwater harvesting tanks. We use them for filling up the sprayer. It can be used for watering the livestock. It's actually helped locally for natural flood management measures because we're actually collecting that water. It means it's less water going into our nearby water bodies, which are ultimately ending up into the brook and creating these flash flood events that are happening in the local villages. By having these rainwater harvesting tanks, it's certainly saving us money. We were on a metre, so you think how many times we're spraying over the year, that's a significant saving.
We've got a very good friend who farms up on the moors. They have a massive problem with moorland fires. I mean, there's been quite a few recently. This would be a fantastic thing that can go on a lot of the barns that are up in the moors, collect the water over the winter when it's traditionally very wet up there, and then the fire services up there could actually tap into it in moorland fires when they can't get a fire appliance anywhere near. We have a link on our website. If you're happy for us to use your rainwater collection tank, fill your details in, tell us where the tank is, what your sizes of your adapters or sprayer hoses, the location, how we get into it, all that's useful information for the fire crews. Eventually it will be on our mobile data terminals on our fire engine, so as we're driving around looking for a hydrant, it will pop up as an icon, we can click it and all the information pops up so we can access it really easily. The quicker we can deal with the fire, the more we can save. So the more habitat, the more farmland, the more money, the more heartache we can stop by getting in there faster and having an available water source.